Hello and welcome. You're listening to Start Again with Shaunna Lee, the place where you will be reminded that it's never too late and you're never too old to do the damn thing. So stick around if you're ready to vibe higher and be inspired to chase your dreams. Together, we will uncover your soul's truest desires. Now, if you're ready, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we have another solo episode for you, and I wanted to tell you, let's start with story time, shall we? So once upon a time, there was a girl named Shaunna Lee who has written a book and is writing another. Okay, yes, this story is about me. Um, let's talk about writer's block, shall we? It's a whole thing. You've heard about it. You know what it is. And let me tell you, it sucks when it happens. You sit down to write and you have a goal for your session, whatever that might be, and nothing comes out. Well, so my story this week actually is a little bit different than that. So I have been procrastinating on the writing and avoiding the writing and doing all the other things except for writing. And I really had a goal of finishing this dating book by the end of September. It's now almost the middle of October. So, as these things tend to happen, I'm behind my arbitrary deadline that I gave myself. And what I noticed this week, actually, this is the story time. I was noticing this restless energy. I could almost physically feel it in my body. And 2 days ago, my mind was racing, like nonstop thoughts all over the board. It was just like crazy town in my head. And I thought, oh gosh, I should probably meditate. And I know from experience, actually, from being in this place of like an overactive mind, um, that there are times when I cannot actually meditate because my mind is so it's like on hyperdrive, right? So I thought, oh gosh, what am I going to do? And this course is fucking brilliant. And I call it a course. It's an online learning tool. Um, but I have listened to my own words so many times. And so what I did was I went back to that concept, right? So the whole concept of align, and the reason I actually give this course as kind of step one to any of my writing clients is that it really teaches you how to center and to tap into your creative inspiration. It does all of the things that you need to be able to do to actually write a book, right? And Align actually, it just teaches you how to tap into your inner being and to find the appropriate balance for you, because here's the thing, everybody's a little different, right? So anyways, I could go on and on and on about this course. It's, like I said, fucking brilliant. But what I did with this moment of writer's block was go back to that concept, body, mind, spirit. So for me, I knew physically I needed to get up off the couch, move my ass, go take the dog for a walk, and move that energy out of my body. So the body aspect is get moving, like the energy needs somewhere to go. So I felt the chaos of my mind and I thought, okay, I'm going to go for a walk. And I kid you not, that shit works. So I took the dog for a walk. And then I thought, okay, mind, I need to journal because that's my outlet for kind of clearing those thoughts. Journaling, obviously, you guys hear me talk about journaling all the time. Journaling for me is a way to get those thoughts out and kind of clear my mind. So physically move the energy from my body, write the words down to get them out of my mind. It gives me a clean slate, if you will. It's like I'm going to create a painting and I'm clearing the canvas. And then spirit, that's the part where being able to tap into my inner being, to connect with God, to tap into the creativity that comes from the universe. Like all of that is all connected, obviously. But the way I do that is meditation. Obviously, you've heard me talk about journaling and meditation like on repeat. But the piece that I was missing this week when it came to the writer's block, which wasn't me sitting down and not being able to write, it was me avoiding the writing for all the reasons that every writer does this. Like imposter syndrome is a whole thing. It's a whole thing, you guys. Who am I to write this book? Why would anybody want to read it? Is it even going to be interesting? Like all the things that we tell ourselves. It's all nonsense, by the way. But when we have the urge to write a book, it's because there's something that needs to be said. It is a story that needs to be told. It is, there's so many different books on so many different topics. Sometimes it's just entertaining people, and sometimes it is teaching. Sometimes it's sharing a story that will be inspiring. Like there's all sorts of reasons why we need to write books. But um, I say it's nonsense because if you have the desire, you should pay attention to that desire. It's important. We don't have desires for no reason. They are whispers from your inner being. It's whispers from the universe telling you to write the story for a reason. And it's likely because someone needs to read the words you need to write. Anyways, my whole point of this episode is to say that this concept of align, the course I've created, it's aligning your body, mind, and spirit on the same path towards the same goal. So for me, knowing that I could physically feel that restless energy and needing some outlet for it, well, I know that the outlet is to write the book, right? But first, I needed to move my body, get that energy moving, clear my mind by journaling, and then sit down to meditate and really tap into why am I writing this story? Who is this for? What are the stories that need to be told? And wouldn't you know, as soon as I did those three things, I was able to sit down and knock out some words. And it's interesting. So, like I said, my writing clients that I am working with one young lady right now. So she is writing this fantasy genre and is not quite sure where the story is going to go. She said, I have a desire to write a book. And our first session, we sat down, and let me just tell you, this is how I work with these writing clients. We sit down, we spend an hour to an hour and a half kind of hashing through what you know about your book, why you want to write the story, who it's for, we dig into your audience, we dig into the genre of the book, and I essentially kind of walk you through. You know what the story is because here's what happened. She sat down with me and said, I want to write a book. I don't really know why. I don't really know what it's going to be about. And I said, okay, cool. And I started asking questions. We started digging into it. And she knows more about this story than she thought she did. And, we worked through imposter syndrome and all the things that keep people from writing books in that first session. And then what I'm able to do is provide her with her blueprint for her book. Here is the plan for how you find the time to write. Here is the word goals that you have for each week. This is how long the book should be. This is how long it should take you to write the book. Here are some things you might not be thinking about, like who will be your beta readers? What does your audience look like? Um, we dig into character development and plot twists and all of the things that go into creating a compelling story. And then in that blueprint are some worksheets. And at the very end is a publishing checklist, which gives you all of the things that you need to consider in all of the different ways that you could publish your story. So, literally, you spend an hour and a half with me, and I give you everything you need to write your book. And then, obviously, if you need, accountability or coaching along the way, we can have those follow up sessions. But For this particular client, she said, no, I do not need you holding me accountable. I just need a plan so that I can hold myself accountable and know what my goals are. And I thought, great. So one session, here we go. This is what she needs to write her book. Anyways, in those moments when you sit down to write and you don't have anything to write about or you don't know where to go, this blueprint gives her kind of other things to think about. Because what I told her was there's a lot of planning that goes into a story that isn't just writing words on paper. And so this blueprint gives you, like, in those moments, okay, here's my writing session. I'm sitting down for an hour today or 30 minutes or however much time, you've allotted, and I can't think of anything to write. Okay, well, how about you do some research on your audience or you build out your author site? There's all sorts of things that you can do that moves the needle and kind of shows you progress along the way. So, one of those things that I recommend is to go back and revisit Align, this course that teaches you how to center with yourself by balancing your body, mind, and spirit. It's the whole concept. And that's what I did this week. That was story time. Even though I've written a book, actually, I've written 3, but I've published the one. And even though I've done that and I know the steps and logically I know how to get from point A to point B, I still get stuck. And these are the steps that I take to get unstuck. And a lot of times it's just moving some shit out of the way, mostly in your head. Like I say in that course, the very first step for me was my body. And what I say in that course is move your ass or move your shit, because sometimes it's your environment that needs some shifting as well. But um, just getting up and getting moving was the first step for me to kind of recenter. And then I could clear my mind through journaling, and then I could tap into my intuition by meditating. And those were my 3 steps. It's interesting though, because everybody's is a little different. For some people, journaling just does not work. I have one client who she wants to journal, but she sits down and she's like, my mind is going too fast and I can't write the words fast enough. And so it's a very frustrating experience for her. And so what we've determined works really well for her is audio files. So she'll go outside for a walk and record her thoughts. And by just talking to her phone and recording it, that is her way of journaling, because it's like the free flow. It's getting the thoughts out, which is really helpful for her. So anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today. My little story time telling you that I also still get stuck sometimes, and this is what I did to help get through that moment of writer's block. I was blocked to the activity of writing. So anyways, that is what I've got for you guys today. So thank you in advance for sharing this episode. Thank you for telling your friends and for the listen. Thank you all. Have a great week. Okay, listen. Are you struggling to find what your true purpose really is? You should try journaling. At the very least, it will get you to a better feeling place than where you are right now. I've created a set of journal prompts to get you on your way to discovering who you truly are and where you want to go from here. My free download is called Journal Yourself to Joy, and it's available at SimplyShaunna.com under Free Stuff. These are my tried and true journal prompts that will raise your energy, increase your positivity, and brighten your day. Download yours today.